Hey, Amber, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
I'm just really excited to do this. Hair is like a passion of mine. So, any way I can get the information out there, I'm grateful to do it.
Well, I appreciate it because I wanted to meet with you more specifically because your hair just looks gorgeous. I mean, it looks beautiful and your hair is natural. And right now, I know a lot of Black women are going natural and some of them are having challenges, myself included, knowing which products to use, knowing how to keep your hair healthy. Because it's actually a regimen. You need a good regimen in order to do that. So I'm hoping with this video that you'll be able to help us with that. So first of all, I know you've been wearing your hair natural, and usually when we wear our hair natural as Black women, it's because we decided to no longer get relaxers. So I first want to ask you, when was the last time you had a relaxer?
The last time I actually had a relaxer was December 2012. And I decided like a month after I got that relaxer that I was going to go natural. So December 2012 was the last time I put relaxer in my hair, and I will never put it back in my hair again.
Wow, that's a long time. So tell me, Amber, what prompted you to go natural?
I had a friend she was doing my hair, and I don't know if she had colored it at one point or something. And she was like, Amber, your hair would be really pretty natural. And
Yeah.
I thought about it, like, yeah, maybe. And then I got into a relationship, and I was like, if I could commit myself to this relationship, I can commit myself to taking care of my natural hair. So it kind of started that way. My boyfriend and I both were on a natural hair journey at the same time. He has dreads, and I started doing his dreads when I started, going natural with my hair. So I feel like it's kind of a journey that him and I are on together.
Oh, I love that. I don't think I've ever heard that before as a reason for going natural. So it's all about the
Yeah,
commitment.
yeah. And it's a commitment, and it's a mindset. You have to be
Yeah.
committed to it to fall through, because a lot of people, they'll go 3 or 4 months without getting a relaxer, and then they revert right back. They haven't set their mind on the natural hair journey yet. So it definitely is a commitment that you have to be committed to.
Yeah, and that's why I love the analogy of a relationship because it really is truly a commitment if you want the best out of it. So if you want the best out of your hair, you have to commit to it. If you want the best out of a relationship, you have to commit to it. So I just absolutely love that.
Absolutely.
Well, Amber, I know ahead
Yeah.
of time you did send me some of your videos. I wanted to see your process or your regimen from beginning to end. I know you have a routine for what you do. Walk me through the routine. And I know in the video you actually you said you had recently, washed your hair. So you did a co-wash. Explain what that is.
Okay, so a co-wash is just really washing with conditioner. They do have products labeled as a co-wash, but you could just use a conditioner, and you use a co-wash when your hair is not really dirty. So the week before, I had shampooed my hair with a DIY shampoo bar, and I had shampooed it like 3 times. So my hair was squeaky clean the week before. I didn't add a lot of products. So I didn't feel like I needed shampoo again the next week. So that's the reason why I co-washed.
And in the video, you co-washed your hair and we were able to kind of see through it. And I know you noticed you pulled your hair with your fingers. You pulled it through a lot with your fingers to detangle it. So tell me about that
Yes.
process and the importance of detangling.
Detangling, if you don't detangle properly, your style is going to fail. And that's just it. And I finger detangle first. And sometimes I will detangle before I wash my hair. But again, my hair wasn't really dirty. I didn't have a lot of products in it. So I finger detangle. And with the conditioner or with the co-wash, that is easy to do. You want to make sure your hair is saturated and that you have something that has slip in it where you can run your fingers through your hair. Now, I didn't all the way detangled when I was washing it. I detangled thoroughly when I had conditioner in it and I was conditioning it. So that was like the second part of the video. I take it section by section. You don't want to try to do one whole half of your head at once unless your hair is not very thick. My hair is super thick, so I cannot do that. So I always do my hair in 4 sections. Just about everything that I do, I put my hair in 4 sections.
Okay. Now I know you mentioned you wanted to saturate your hair, and so tell me about saturating it and what you would saturate it with. Is it just water or product?
Yes. And people have a real misconception for somebody going from a relaxer to natural. When you have a relaxer, you stay away from water.
Oh,
you don't want to get wet.
Yeah.
When you are natural, it is the opposite. Water is your best friend. That is your source of moisture, not a product or anything like that. Water is your source of moisture. So you need water with everything. So, you want to saturate your hair, get it real nice and wet, get any dirt loose that, before you go in with the shampoo or a co-wash or whatever you're trying to do.
Okay.
You do want to get it very wet first.
And so after you go through your co-wash, tell me about drying your hair after you wash it.
Okay.
T-shirt to dry, never a towel.
I have been using old T-shirts for the last 8 years. I have not used a towel on my hair. You want to use a microfiber material or an old T-shirt. I just say get an old T-shirt. You don't have to go out and buy anything, but do not use a towel when you are ready to dry your hair, because 1 is going to leave lint in your hair. 2, it can cause breakage to your hair. And then it just soaks up all of the water, and you want to keep that water in there for moisture on for your next step. So I always use a T-shirt to dry my hair. That's just, it's a game changer. If you've never done it, the next time you wash your hair, use a T-shirt to dry, and you can keep it wrapped up for a long time if you've got other things to do, and just let it do its thing. But a T-shirt is best.
Amber, I have to tell you, I had never heard that before, and I always use it.
And I didn't do it before I was a natural. I used a towel to dry my hair, but there definitely is a difference in the outcome of your hair from using a towel to using a T-shirt. I wouldn't use a towel anymore.
Yeah, but everybody has a T-shirt hanging around somewhere, right? So why not just use a T-shirt?
Absolutely.
I just think that's wonderful.
Absolutely.
I love it. So now
I have a drawer of wash day T-shirts.
There you go. That's perfect. It's perfect. So walk me through. So now after you've co-washed your hair, what's the next step for getting healthy hair?
So after co-wash or shampoo, just depends on, where you are with your hair. You may have needed to shampoo, but then you want to go right in with either a conditioner or a deep conditioner. Okay. You do not need both. You just need one. And it depends on, if I use shampoo, I'll probably use a deep conditioner. Okay. If I've co-washed, I'll just use a regular rinse out conditioner. And it just depends on where your hair is. I went on a 30-day hair detox challenge back in January, and it really changed a lot of steps that I was doing, because I was doing way too much every week. Okay. And I just didn't need to do all that. All you need to do is shampoo, condition, and style your hair once a week. That's it. I was pre-pooing, shampooing, deep conditioning, then detangling, and, all of that stuff. And all those steps aren't necessary to have a hop and style, when you get done. So it really changed my mindset, and shortened my wash day, just, shampooing, conditioning, and then styling.
I had never heard of detoxifying your hair. And so basically, what are you doing? You're just getting rid of most of the products, or what's the simple step of that? What it
was, you couldn't use castor oil, coconut oil, shea butter, or anything with those ingredients, like in the first 5 on the ingredient ingredient list. So a lot of people, use a lot of different stuff on their hair that they do not need.
Okay.
And I was one of those, I would put a leave-in and then a cream and then, oil or whatever. And I still do those steps, but just not like every week. So it was a real eye opener learning the things that I did learn. It was something on Instagram that two, licensed hairstylists, one lives in Chicago and I think the other one lives in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And, they're curly girls, like they do curly hair. That's all they do. They cut curly hair. They, color curly hair. So that was their special, they specialized in curly hair, and it was a real eye-opening 30 days. And I really, really enjoyed it.
And speaking of curly hair, that's the focus for you as well. And I know you go by the handle of Amber. Well, you can say it. What is your handle that you
Amber Lushious Curls, and that came to me. Amber Lushious was a nickname somebody gave to me when I was like 18 years old, and I was like, I have a tattoo of it and everything. So I was like, I've got to brand this somehow, but how can I do it? Yeah. And I was like, I used to call myself the curl popper because people would come to me and want me to do a wash and go on their hair, which is their natural hair pattern. Like they couldn't do it themselves. So people would come to me, their hair would be, blown out. They were just amazed by the curls that I gave them. So I started calling myself the curl popper. Yeah. And then I need to do something with Amber Lushious, and I was like, Amber Lushious Curls. So that's where that came from, because I feel like my curls are usually always pretty luscious. Like I have mastered the wash and go. I've mastered a twist out. So I usually always can make my hair look the way I want it to make it, or the way I wanted to make it look. So that's where that came from. It was a nickname that I've had for years, and I just kind of turned it a little bit.
Well, I love it. Amber Lushious Curls, and it absolutely fits you to the T. So you talked about detoxifying your hair and the different products you need to extract out of your routine. What is the next step in your healthy hair routine?
After you've co-washed or you've washed your hair, you want to, like I said, deep condition or condition. Mm-hmm. And with that deep conditioner or the conditioner, that's when you want to detangle. Okay. So I always put my hair in 4 sections. If your hair is shorter and thicker, you may need more sections. It just depends on what you want to work with, but you definitely want to put your hair in sections. And I first start off
doing that, Amber. What's the importance of sectioning it out?
To make sure you detangle thoroughly. If I'm just sitting here trying to, do a big section like this, I'm not going to detangle all of my hair. I'm still going to have tangles in there. And then when it comes to styling, my style is not going to turn out right because it's still tangled. Okay. So you want to, and my hair doesn't really get tangled anymore because it's used to being washed once a week. Your hair starts to tangle up the drier it gets. So when your hair starts running out of moisture, it's going to start getting tangled. It's going to tangle up on itself. That's just what curly hair does. It tangles on itself. So after about 4 days after your wash day, it's probably time to wash it again. Every 4 to 7 days, your hair should be washed. Okay. Just to maintain the moisture. Okay. And if you maintain moisture, you're going to retain length, and your hair is going to be healthy. You want to retain the moisture.
So after you do your co-wash or your wash, and then you go through the routine of going in and putting in your product, which is your conditioner. Do you go under the dryer? Is it a cold set? What is the next step?
It just depends. If I'm deep conditioning, I have a deep conditioning cap that I throw in the microwave for about 2.5 minutes. Okay. I put a plastic cap over my hair after I've got the deep conditioner in there, and then I put that over that. And so I can walk around, wash dishes, do whatever I need to while I'm deep conditioning. Okay. I do not do that every week anymore. I used to, but I don't do it every week anymore. You could sit under the dryer with your deep conditioner on, or you can get under a steamer. Okay. Just depends on what your hair needs. you have to listen to your hair. It will tell you what it needs.
I know we talked about depending on what style you want or how, full you want it, how curly you want it, that's going to make a difference as well. Talk a little bit more about, what you do based on the style you want.
Okay. As far as styling, now my shampoo and conditioning, that's, every week. As far as styling, if I want, that's where I pick my products.
Okay.
So depending on the style I want, that's how I'll pick the products that I'm going to use to style my hair.
Okay.
And also your techniques can be different. I can use the same product and use a different technique and have a totally different style.
Okay.
Or
When you
I
say
can
technique,
use the same,
what's an example? I'm sorry, what's an example of a technique? When you talk
an example of a technique. So say I am doing a wash and go, which is where I'm capturing my natural curls. This here is not my natural curl.
Okay.
This is a braid out.
Okay.
So I manipulated my hair to look this way. My natural curl is really coily. I mean, it looks like a little screwdriver. So say I'm doing a wash and go and I want it to be a fluffy wash and go. So it's my natural curl, but I want it to be fluffy. So I'm not going to use a gel because a gel is going to hold that curl to what it is. And, I'm not going to use a gel, and I'm going to, when I'm putting my products in there, I'm going to just kind of rake them through.
Okay.
If I want it to be super curly, I'll put my products in there in smaller sections. If I want it to be, big, I'll do it in bigger sections.
Okay.
If I want it to be super curly and defined, I'll do it in smaller sections.
Okay.
And I always rake, which means I'm taking the product, and of course it'll be a smaller section, and I'm just taking my hands like this and raking it through. I'm raking the product through all the way down, making sure all of the hair is covered with the product. Let's say any other thing that I do is either a braid out or a twist out. And but as far as my natural curl, if I want it big, I'm going to do it in bigger sections, raking it through. If I want it really curly, I'm going to take little pieces and just come down with the product like that. And that's called shingling.
Okay.
I don't like to do my hair like that a lot because it makes my hair more tangled. So I don't personally like to shingle. I get the results that I want just raking the product through. So you can rake it and then take your hands and go like this. Yeah. And that's called the praying hands method. I mean, there's so many different ways and techniques to do your hair, and you just have to find what works for you. And so that means as far as products, you may have to buy a few things before you find something that works for you. As far as technique, you're going to have to do it several different ways to figure out which outcome you like.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, speaking of product, talk to me about the products that you use and how often you use your product.
Well, I'm recovering from a product junkie. I used to just buy stuff. I watched YouTube videos and would see the girls on the videos. Oh, I need that. I would go out and get it, So I've scaled back a lot on what I purchase. If I'm purchasing a product right now, it's because it's a treat for myself. It's not that I necessarily need it because I don't need any products. And I also make products too. So a couple of weeks ago, I had a DIY deep conditioner. I used it as a deep conditioner, and it had aloe and fenugreek in it and a bunch of oil. Yeah. So as far as products, you want a moisturizing shampoo and you want a clarifying shampoo. You need to clarify your hair. I like to do it like once every month or once every 6 weeks, but at least once every 8 weeks. And that just depends on how active you are. If you are someone who works out 2 or 3 days a week, you're going to want to use shampoo more. Okay. If you don't, because you got that sweat and all that, on your scalp. And a clean scalp, I mean, your hair grows from your scalp.
Mhm.
So your scalp is the most important thing that and hair can't grow if your scalp is dirty, if you have product buildup, if so your hair can't grow from that. So a lot of people say, oh, dirty hair grows. Well, not really.
Yeah.
You want
Another
a
old wise
moisturizing
tale,
shampoo.
right?
Yeah, a moisturizing shampoo and a clarifying shampoo.
Okay.
Some people only wash their hair once every 2 weeks. It just depends on the person. But you may want to purchase a co-wash or use a conditioner to, just cleanse it a little bit or refresh it. You want a deep conditioner. Now, the deep conditioner that you purchase is going to depend on what your hair needs. You don't need every deep conditioner on the shelf. You don't, so you have to read the back of the labels to see what that deep conditioner is going to do for you and if you actually need it. If you don't have dry hair, you don't want to buy a deep conditioner for dry hair.
Yeah.
Because it's going to do the opposite of, you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't say, I used to buy leave-ins, but you do not need a leave-in conditioner, because after you've done conditioned it, your hair has what it needs.
Yeah.
So after you condition, you go right into styling. And if you want to wear a wash and go, you need a gel, a botanical gel, more preferably, because it's cleaner, it's better for you, it doesn't have all those nasty ingredients in it.
Okay.
Depending on, you may want a cream, it really, the products that you use really depends on what you want your hair to look like when you're finished.
Okay.
I mean, and that's just it.
Well, it sounds like go ahead, Amber, go ahead.
As you say, you can buy a foam like these. You can have a gel, a cream, and then a mousse or a foam. And you would want a mousse, like if you're putting rollers in your hair for a twist out, for things like that. But you definitely, like I said, it just depends on how you wear your hair. If you're someone who wears your hair in a wash and go 98% of the time, you're probably just going to purchase a gel. Okay. You don't need the other stuff. But definitely you want a moisturizing shampoo, a clarifying shampoo, and if your hair is fairly healthy, just a regular conditioner, and then a styling product.
That sounds good, Amber. I love everything that you're saying. So it sounds like when it comes to product, it really is what works best for you, like you said, based on your lifestyle, and just try to identify something that works best for you.
A lot of companies, they are making money off of us because they know, hey, if we put this out there, they're going to buy it, even if they don't need it. We market it as this, they're going to buy it. And so we really have to be smart on where we're spending our coins. You really do, because you don't need a deep conditioner and the conditioner from a line. Just pick one. You don't need all three of the styling products from a line. Just pick one, but the companies know how to market to get that money from us. And
upsell.
Yes. And it's sad. And that's another reason why I try to stop buying so many products. And I also see companies coming out with a new product every month because they know that we're going to buy it and we don't need it.
Well, I love that it sounds like you've done your homework. You know exactly what you want your hair to look like. And so you've kind of gone through this routine and this regimen of figuring that out, and then just finding what works best for you. And I love the fact that you even created your own product as well. Now, I was just going to ask you, can you tell me about that, Amber? I know you said you keep a diary or a log. Talk to me about that, about your journal.
I do keep a natural hair, and I keep a natural hair journey. It was around September 2014 when I decided to really start taking care of my hair. I transitioned for a whole year, so I didn't have a perm, but I was still flat ironing my hair because I didn't know anything else for it to be straight.
Yeah.
So I wasn't putting a relaxer in it, but I was putting heat on it. So I was still damaging my hair for the whole year that I transitioned.
Yeah.
So finally I got all the ends cut off, and I was like, I have to start taking care of my hair. I have to start somewhere. And somebody told me about a brand of products. I went and bought a few, and this is my second one. Actually, I filled up my first one, but anyway, what I do is every week when I wash my hair, and you're probably not going to be able to see this, but every week when I wash my hair, I put the date on there and I put which shampoo I use, what deep conditioner I used, if I sat under the dryer or under the bonnet, whatever I do, I record it. I record the products that I use. I record the technique that I use. And I always usually try to take a picture. So I can go back to that picture, see the date. And if I want to replicate that hairstyle again, I know exactly what I did. I also go back in there and put if the product didn't work, how my hair felt, anything that, if it was the bomb, like, oh, my hair was the bomb, I know what to do to get it like this again. So I go through, and that's another part of my commitment to my hair journey is writing it down every week. If I do something in the middle of the week, like if I moisturize it or something, I also put that in there. I also have,
I love that.
I know this sounds crazy, I'm obsessed, but I also have reminders in my phone, like on my calendar, every 3 or 4 days, I tell myself to moisturize my hair, or on Wednesdays, I co-wash my hair, so I have that stuff on my calendar as well, just to keep me on a schedule. Now, some weeks or some days I may not do it, and that's okay. I don't, I'm not mad at myself if I don't get it done, but it's just, I'm a little OCD. But that's just how I've committed myself to my hair journey.
Well, I love that because you have to inspect what you expect, right? So you have to monitor what it is that you want. And that's a really good way to do that because otherwise.
Yes, and that's another thing I tell people, you have to train your hair to do what you want it to do.
Yes.
Just like you train a dog to go outside and use the bathroom. Once you've trained that dog, it's always going to go outside and use the bathroom.
I know so about that with my babies. Yes.
How I felt about my hair. In the beginning, I always used to do twist outs, and that's how I trained my curl pattern. That's where my curl pattern came from. So now a twist out looks like a wash and go. So I don't even really do twist outs anymore. But you have to.
You were talking about how your curls now just kind of, do what you need them to do. And that's the first thing I thought of that you've now trained your hair for that because you put the hard work in. So.
Yep. And it happened overnight. It probably took me about 2 years to train my hair. But now I know when I get in the shower, when I wash it, like it's not tangled. It's not, it's not any of that stuff. I can get in there and I can get my hair done, washed, conditioned, and styled in an hour.
Well, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, your natural hair is just absolutely gorgeous. And at the end of the day, that's really what we all want, is just to be able to wear our own natural hair and have it be healthy and just to be able to maintain that. And like you said, it's a commitment. If you want to, first of all, in order to obtain the healthy hair, but then you also have to maintain it. So you have to keep doing what you're doing. And I love that you talked about that after a while.
When people were relaxed or still relaxed, they go to the salon however many weeks to have their hair maintained.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, natural. You're just doing it yourself because there's not a lot. I mean, in the bigger cities, there probably are, a lot of salons where they're doing natural hair, but around here it's not. And that's where I chimed in and was trying to, but I don't have a cosmetology license. But anyway,
but it sounds like you've done your homework because there's enough information out there where you know what it is. You want healthy hair at the end of the day. You've done your research, you've done what's best for you. And I love the fact that you've now pulled that all together and helped the rest of us know what we need to do to get that healthy hair, because a lot of women are going natural these days. A lot of Black women are now going all natural. And more now than ever. And to your point, I mean,
when I went natural,
money and everything else. Go ahead.
Right. It had just started to boom. So there was really not a whole lot of people when I first started doing the natural thing. I mean, it had just started to, come to a head or whatever. And so I've been doing it for a while now. And like I said, I mean, I could do my hair in my sleep. When I'm doing my hair, my eyes are closed. My hair time, my wash day is my me time. I don't look at it as a chore. I look at it as pampering myself.
Well, I love it. And Amber, I know we're coming to a close here, but I just want to say thank you so much again for sharing all of this information with us for healthy hair. I mean, what woman wouldn't want healthy hair? And it's always at the utmost, and especially for Black women, we have a history with our hair, and our hair is very important to us. So I really appreciate you going through this. And of course, you are the model for exactly what you're talking about. I mean, your hair, again, is just absolutely beautiful. You can tell it's very healthy. And thank you so much for making these videos for us. So we do have Amber's videos, which is Amber Lushious Curls videos, will be on our Sisterhood Sharing Sessions site. And of course, you'll be able to find it on her original site.
If there's anybody that has any specific questions, or, I am open to doing a messenger call or a Zoom call or whatever, a consultation with anybody who feels like they need some extra, or they've got extra questions or whatever. I'm open to doing that. So if you just want to reach out to me, if there's anybody that wants some extra help or whatever, I am willing to do that. So
absolutely,
I try to
first client on that. So maybe the first, but I will be posting that video, and it'll be the full length video from beginning to end. Amber, from wash to condition to styling, it's going to be the full video. So stay tuned for it. And again, Amber, thank you so much for joining me today. I really enjoyed this. It was great seeing you.
You're welcome. So much. Very welcome. It's been a great time. Like I said, it's a passion of mine. So anything hair, I'm there for it.
I can tell. Thank you so much.